Is weird, odd, strange, or just plain bizarre is really your cup of tea? Then, the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast will give you that fix. Can't believe it? Well, listen for yourself as we deliver the strangest news you definitely won't find on CNN or Fox. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Weird News Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Weird News Podcast, brought to you by GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Staci.
And I'm your co-host, Sarah.
And I am by no means a foodie or a gourmand or any sort of, food is sacred and must be held to such a level of whatever. I like the microwave. The microwave is a beautiful, beautiful invention. I'm so thankful for whatever science tool gave us the microwave. Thank you. But
I actually... I can give you a children's book. It's right over there.
A children's book that explains
how the microwave was invented.
Wow.
I just did it on the book podcast.
Well, now I'm thinking of that Jennifer Lawrence thing where she puts the oven thing puts the metal thing in the microwave, and it's like a metal pan with tinfoil on it. And it's like, I knew not to do that when I was like 7. Thank you very much.
They did that on Mythbusters, but I can't remember what conclusion they drew.
Well, hers started a fire, so.
Not good.
But so anyways, I'm not too upset usually with like new food things, mostly just because I'm not going to try it. I am super picky, so I'm just like, whatever. I wasn't going to try it when it was the regular thing. I'm not going to try it when it's this new thing.
Right.
But people do tend to get in an uproar when you either change their favorites or do something that they've never really seen done, and they're not sure you should do that with that food and that food together. Including,
I don't know why we get so upset. I mean, there's a lot of happy accidents in the food world.
I mean, I'm just kind of with them on the, like, unless you're, a pregnant female, things like pickles and ice cream.
Right, but,
Why?
Also you don't have to try it. You
Also
can just say, yeah, that doesn't sound good to me. But somebody else might be like, I'd never thought of that. Let me try that. That was disgusting.
But then other people are like, sacrilege!
Yeah, exactly.
Including over our first story, which is mustard pizza. I'm not even sure this should be called... I get why it's called mustard pizza, and I get why there was the whole storm about mustard pizza.
Is the mustard in place of the red sauce?
It is.
Okay.
So this is at Lions and Tigers and Squares.
Oh my.
Which is a Detroit-style pizzeria in New York, and I had to first go and look up what the heck is Detroit-style pizza, because I know New York, and I know Chicago, but I'm like, what is Detroit?
So what is Detroit?
It's that sort of deep dish square thing, like that DiGiorno commercial where they do the singing pan 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 pan. It's that is Detroit style of pizza. So this is a Detroit style pizzeria, but in New York, and they have put the mustard instead of tomato sauce, but then they top it with corned beef, sauerkraut, and cheese. So it's like
a Reuben,
right? It's a hot sandwich just on what?
Interesting. I mean, I don't want to try it, but
yeah, I'm just like I mean, I'm still one of those people who's like, why are you putting pineapples on pizza? I don't understand. My sweet and my savory should not go together.
Actually, I like pineapple on my pizza. I don't particularly like mustard, so I wouldn't want mustard to take the place. Like, there's some pizzas with white sauce that I quite enjoy, and others that I'm like, no, that didn't work for me. But I just don't like mustard enough to have it replace the red sauce. Right.
And I would think you'd even want to do this the way they sort of drizzle barbecue sauce on barbecue chicken pizzas, except I'm also still of the like, but why are you doing that on a pizza?
Right. A little goes a long way.
I'm just like, but then I don't know what you would put for this instead. Just cheese on top of the pizza crust and then the meat and then drizzled mustard?
I suppose, but and sauerkraut. Don't forget sauerkraut.
Oh, no, can't forget the sauerkraut.
Not if you're doing a Reuben.
But yeah, so they're not spreading it the way, you'll see the pizza commercials where they put the ladle full of sauce and then spread it around. Mm-hmm. They do sort of just squeeze it in lines.
Oh, okay.
But then completely cover it with corned beef, sauerkraut, and cheese.
Right.
But then you see people sort of peeling it open and it looks like it itself spreads out, like during the cooking.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I mean, I don't like Reubens also, so.
I do.
I worked at a place that was known for selling its Reubens, and so it's just like, I'm the cashier and I'm supposed to recommend food to you, but I don't like Reuben. So,
that's the problem.
What do I do here? Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Everybody loves it. I didn't say I loved it, but everybody loves it. But yes, pizza especially, because pizza is one of those things that is like, oh, it's Italian. It's like, okay, technically, originally, sure, but the pizza that most Americans know is not exactly Italian. Like if you go to Italy and get an authentic pizza, it's like, that's probably...
This is not what I was expecting.
It probably does not look like the Detroit-style pizza. So it's like, okay, it's our version of whatever, and I always kind of like the Americanized thing, but I'm like, I'm fine with just pepperoni. I am totally fine with pepperoni. I don't need anything else. I don't need to get crazy with my pizza. Like, I won't say pizza is a comfort food, but it's one of those like solid go-tos for me. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm like, I don't know what I want. I don't really want to try and then fail at cooking. I'll just order a pizza. Pepperoni. Very solid, very simple. I can usually find some sort of like coupon or deal for that. Cool. Good. Done. Why do we have to? Whatever. But I can get more so why this would be done in like the Reuben style, the Detroit style than like the New York or Chicago style. Maybe Chicago, possibly also. But because Detroit is square and so you're then cutting square things, it is like you've got a hot sandwich almost in your hands.
Yeah.
Although everyone I saw eat it did it with forks. So
yeah.
What are you doing? It's a pizza.
But it's got, I'm just imagining, sauerkraut falling everywhere.
Right.
Probably a fork would be the best idea.
But then it's not a pizza. Can that be a rule? Like if I can't eat it with my hands, it's not a pizza?
It can be your rule, but I don't think we're going to make it like an international rule.
Right. I mean, my rules for food are so incredibly specific. I always feel sorry for like the waiter when I go to a restaurant.
You're like Sally from When Harry Met Sally.
I really am, except it's not even like on the side. It's like, no, thank you. I don't want it. I know it's like, one of the 6 ingredients of the, no, thank you. Pass. And they'll often ask me when I'm like, can I have that without whatever? Oh, you want that on side? No, I don't want it at all. Nope.
Hard pass.
Or like, it used to so confuse when I used to get Subway regularly. They do the whatever. Oh, what meat would you like? What cheese would you like? What veggies would you like? I wanted turkey, ham, cheese, and bacon. And that was it. Nothing else. And so they'd get to, oh, what veggie? Oh, no, you're good. You want olive oil or no, you're good. You're totally good. You are done, man. You are completely finished. You're like, what? It's like, I don't know how to, I'm skipping a step here and I don't know how to do it.
I haven't been trained in skipping a step.
It's like something in this area is supposed to go on the sandwich. That's what I know. What are you talking about? My mother was like, she's fine. She's good. She doesn't want anything else. I'm like, you have just made me very happy with that very simple plain sandwich. Thank you.
Stacy, can I tell you something? You're a little bit weird.
I am. I will totally own up to that. And not even a little bit, like solidly. I'm probably solidly into the weird category.
Hence the host of the Weird News podcast.
Yes. But like Sally, I like what I like and I just want things the way I want it.
That's right.
Except even like,
see, high maintenance.
I think even she would actually have a Reuben and I still wouldn't. Because there's that wonderful scene where they're at the...
Well, yeah. But
the
she would deconstruct it and put it back together like she's doing in that scene.
Sauerkraut on the side, cheese on the side. Yeah, I'm not on the sandwich at all. It doesn't even need to leave the kitchen. You don't even need to open the jar for that. Like, you can pretend that you never bought it and you just somehow missed that on your grocery list. I am fine without actually most of everything on a Reuben. So
I grew up in my dad's German, so I mean he's not like from Germany, but he's ethnically German. So I grew up eating sauerkraut and
I can't. And Reubens. The rest of my family does like pickles or relish, and I'm just like, nah. Why do you do these strange tasting things?
Not strange tasting to them, just strange tasting to you.
Well, I'm strange, so
it's okay.
This starts to feel like a double negative. It's strange to the strange person. What does that mean exactly? Is it normal then? What's going on here? I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Well, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned.
The average sedan is built with a steel frame and equipped with 6 airbags. Remember this the next time you see someone walking. Drivers, be aware. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety. The average SUV has 2 blind spots, weighs between 4,000 and 6,000 pounds, and takes about 6 seconds to stop. Remember this the next time you're on foot. Pay attention, people. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Our next two stories both make me feel somewhat inadequate.
Oh.
Because they're things I can't do and I've never ever seemed to do, even though people can do them so easily. Why is that the case? So the first one is that there is an Italian artist who creates mosaics out of Rubik's Cubes.
You can do that.
No, I can't.
It doesn't mean you have to solve them.
You have to have them in certain places. You can't just have them all with all one side a color. I mean, that would be like, let me go through a mountain of Rubik's Cube to find the one that has the colors in just the right
Can't you have the vision
places.
and then have a partner who knows how to do a Rubik's Cube?
See, and that's the problem. I'm not visually minded, which is why I can't do a Rubik's Cube. I can't even imagine how to do mosaics.
Actually,
out of
mosaics
anything.
are amazing to me because, you're looking at the tiny little, or any, when the artists that do the dots.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that's called, but how you then translate that tiny dot into the whole. I've never gotten that either.
Right? Like, can I just go do like color by numbers or something? Like, that's about as close as I'm going to get to being able to do a mosaic is color by numbers. You tell me where it goes, I can put it there.
You put a number in those tiny dots and I can totally do it then.
Right, exactly. So this is Giovanni Contardi, and he is a former world champion in speed cubing. Which just makes me feel inadequate. I can't visualize it. I can't visualize the mosaic, and I can't solve the Rubik's
I can
Cube
do it
to
in
save
2
my
seconds.
soul. Right?
Okay, well.
And he won that championship 5 years in a row, and he also set a world record for one-handed speed cubing in 2012.
That makes my fingers and my forearm and everything hurt just thinking about trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with one hand.
That's just one of those things where I want to know like the statistics of how many times did you drop it before you could do that, because that seems like, especially if you're trying to go fast, that seems like easily dropped.
And new ones are really stiff, so how many times did you have to solve it before it was, or do they make them so that they're not quite so stiff?
Right. And how does a Rubik's Cube competition go? Like, presumably the judges give every competitor a Rubik's Cube that's equally hard. Is it all the same? Is it you have someone who specifically sets Rubik's Cubes up with like blues, 6 blues here and 3, like they have a specific combination it has to be set up to before we can get to the competition?
Wow.
I actually now really want to know the inner workings of how you put on a Rubik's Cube competition.
Yeah, maybe that'll be next week's episode.
I did see this video of him doing it, and they've got this like hand thing that you place on your hands, and then when you're done, you place your hands to like stop the timer. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, we've gotten high tech for Rubik's Cubes.
Nice.
Like, okay. But yeah, so he limits himself even to 700 cubes. Because you obviously could do this with, a bunch, and then you'd have a really large mosaic. But because, being able to do it super fast and with Rubik's Cubes is not enough. He's like, I have to limit myself to 700. Which on the one hand, considering how big these are, wow. But on the other hand, that means you have 700 Rubik's Cubes in your apartment or your house or wherever.
Now, does he do them? Are they, so once he makes it, does he then, are they like glued in place? They're permanent, or these are just temporary sort of things?
They are temporary. He says he actually does it sort of like based off of who he's thinking of at the time. So if like he saw a movie, he might do it about that character. A character from that movie. Okay,
so that's cool, and it clearly gives him something to do on a Saturday afternoon, but what's the point? Like, I mean, what does that, it seems like a waste of time to make something beautiful and then...
to destroy it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess this is just him, challenging himself. It's like, okay, I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Next, okay, I learned how to solve it fast. Next, okay, I learned how to solve it fast with one hand. It's like, how much more can I do with this one solid little 6-sided thing?
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm not trying to be rude to his hobby. I mean, everybody's hobby is whatever makes him happy, but it seems like so much work to then just not do anything with or share with people or something. I mean,
he does share. He posts the pictures.
I guess he takes pictures of them and then.
And it looks like he's doing it on like his living room floor in his apartment. So he probably couldn't keep it there because you run out of space.
Right.
It's like you have no space to do anything else because of these 700 Rubik's Cubes on the ground here. But it's just like, I cannot even imagine. And he talks about, trying to figure out how to do whatever he's trying to do with. He says only 5 colors, but white, I guess, technically is a color. But there are 6, on a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, but also, what?
So... how long does it take? Did he say? On average?
It takes him, I think, a couple of hours. It's not clear how long, if that includes, planning it out, or if he's so amazingly spatially, like, visually minded that he can do it as he goes. It's like, I've got the big picture in my head and I know. And you see him actually in the video I saw, like, doing the Rubik's Cubes to get the certain colors in certain places that he wants. And then, and I'm not sure if he did this just for the video or if it was just certain cubes. For the rest of the sides, as best as you can, they just sort of stayed the same. Like, as if he had done it. I think he did it, a number of them from new Rubik's Cubes, because you see him also, like, unboxing a bunch of them at some point. And I'm just like, even if you were like, here, you only have this one cube, and I need one side to be, like, red, blue, green, that would take me forever. Yeah,
it would definitely take me longer than, well, I mean, maybe not forever, but, like, one day less than forever.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So long as it's only the one day, I feel a bit better. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
And also, again, I'm sort of with you. Like, I kind of feel I could do other things with my time, which is why I've never buckled down to actually learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. But just, wow. Amazing. I don't know what to say.
I don't either. I mean, amazing. That's a good word for it, because that's amazing and I can't do it.
But then at least he is human. And so I have the, the human is smarter than me sort of excuse. There is a dog who has a couple of Guinness records for jump roping.
Dang.
So this is a female.
Well, how many dogs are there out there that jump rope?
Clearly a number.
There has to be more than one.
Yeah. I want to know how many. I mean, I guess it'd be impossible to know how many records have never been set, because you'd have to think of them to begin with. But it's just like, how many records have, like, only one person who ever did this? So you by default got the record because you at least did it.
And do you get the record then? Because, like, is that a participation ribbon?
Like, most whatever, a really random thing we'd never heard of till today, one. It's like, that's all you need to do. And then how long does that record last? I'm sure there must be some people who just go through and look at records that people haven't, beaten in a while and be like, I'm going to do that just because I have nothing better to do than beat records and make things out of Rubik's Cubes. But this dog is a female border collie named Geronimo, and she holds the records for most skips by a dog in a minute, and then the most double Dutch skips by a dog in a minute. And that's what really upsets me, because I've never been able to do double Dutch.
To do double Dutch.
That was such a like depressing thing as a child. I know how to do the ropes. I can easily do the ropes just fine. And then just wouldn't, because everyone else got to double Dutch. I just can't. I think I probably could do it if I ever was able to jump in.
Right. That's the hardest part. Yeah. Just, I can. I did it, but I was always kind of scared of that part. And so then, you gotta jump in with confidence.
Evidently, because that's what this dog does. And mind you, the dog's not doing the, back and forth, whatever. It's just all four things hopping at once, and it just manages to do it this rope, then that rope, then this rope. But the dog's name was actually originally Cricket, and then on the way home, it tried to jump out the window, and that's how it got the name Geronimo. So clearly this is a jumping, loving dog.
That is a dog.
And it will jump for anything. So clearly the confidence thing is a big thing that I just have not figured out yet, because I'm just like, yeah, I was always sort of scared, too scared to try and jump into double Dutch. And then when I did, I always got hit in the head and proved my fears correct.
Then you're like, yep, see, knew that would happen.
Can't do it, gosh darn it, why can't I do this? And I'm sure, like Rubik's Cubes, if I, was better at, like, spatial, visual, whatever that is, mind thinking, I'm sure it'd be like a snap. It'd be like, oh, I get it. Oh, that's easy. Oh, all you have to do is this. But somehow I can't. And I'm like, I don't know how to, what?
Why? And how did the dog learn this?
Well, so the owner trains them. And it's not clear if she just noticed that they were really good at jumping, or if she was specifically like, I'm going to train them.
Whether you want to or not, Geronimo, you're going to be a double Dutch dog.
Well, because she also has another dog named Feather, who's known for jumping really high.
Oh.
Like, could probably jump over us, over our height, if we were standing. And I'm just like, on the one hand, cool. On the other hand, no, terrifying.
Yeah. Wow.
Because, like, if ever I was running from a dog, I should at least have the safety protection of, I hopped over the fence, so I'm safe. What are you doing? I'm like watching this. Feather is a taller, longer-legged dog, so that makes sense. I was like, okay, I get that you could jump really high. I don't know that I would have trained you to jump really high, but I can get why you would jump really high. I wouldn't have immediately thought of like, border collie, let's let's start double dutching.
Yeah. I mean, my boy dog, my Chihuahua, can jump pretty high when he's motivated. we in our old house, we had French doors, and I was standing behind the kitchen. There was a kitchen like separating, like a bar kind of thing. And so I'm not terribly tall, but it was probably, I don't know what standard bar height for a kitchen, but I looked out the French door and I can see the dog jumping because he was trying to get my attention. And but it never occurred to me to then train him to jump higher. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I'm wondering if she trained them in the same way. I remember that when I was a kid, there was a commercial about putting your kids in gymnastics because they're like jumping on the furniture anyways. I was like, wonder if it was like, okay, we need to get this energy out somehow.
Right.
So might as well put it towards like a concentrated use. I will train you for random show tricks. And oh, hey, you can actually do jump rope.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Cool. All right.
All right.
Just like fine Italian artist and border collie. Just bring back all the pains of my childhood.
Yeah, way to make... Oh, wait, Hoda's going to... sorry, I'm watching the video now. Is Hoda going to jump in those heels?
Sarah is watching the video from... what is this?
From the Today Show, but with Hoda and Kathy
that's me.
Lee.
That's me, even without heels. I can't do double
What
dutch.
was she thinking? She's wearing like 4-inch heels.
I could be
I mean,
in my
good for her.
barefoot and
Dang.
still not be able to do it. I'm going to say it's because my feet are somehow... They have a mind of their own.
Yeah, that's it.
That's exactly what it is.
Blame your feet.
Yep. We're going to take another short break. Stay tuned.
The average sedan is built with a steel frame and equipped with 6 airbags. Remember this the next time you see someone walking. Drivers, be aware. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety. The average SUV has 2 blind spots, weighs between 4,000 and 6,000 pounds, and takes about 6 seconds to stop. Remember this the next time you're on foot. Pay attention, people. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Welcome back to the GSMC Weird News Podcast. Our final story today, it feels like everything I've talked about today sort of reminds me of commercials somehow.
Okay.
Because this one, I can't remember if it was Ameritrade or E-Trade, but it's the one with like all the seniors who can't afford to retire.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have DJ Nana.
Yes.
I totally remember seeing that and just busting out laughing because I wasn't expecting it at all. I was like, what is this? And then it's like, they call me DJ Nana. I was like,
yeah.
Aw. But this is like an actual DJ Nana, in that, continuing with records, a Japanese woman holds the Guinness World Record for the world's oldest professional club DJ.
And how old is she?
She is 83.
Dang.
Her name is Sumiko Iwamura, aka DJ Sumirock, which cool.
Yeah, I just want to know, does she play current music, or does she play music from her 20s?
I think she must
that
play
would be
current
awesome.
music, because this is so interesting. It's not like, she's, one of the grandmothers of DJing, and if there are grandmothers of DJing, how old are those DJs? Are they like over 50? How old is like current DJing as we know it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that from like the 70s where they started playing the skipping and the record and whatever? But anyways, she decided to attend a DJ school at age 77. So she's only been doing this for
I love that.
years.
So grandma woke up this morning. She's decided to go to DJ school.
Right?
I mean, I'd be like, okay, grandma, you do that.
Like, this is beyond even that whole who says you can't teach old dogs new tricks thing. It's like, who said, whatever is only for the young people?
Exactly.
Like, I could do whatever at any age. I don't care that it wouldn't seem hip and cool if I did it. I was like,
I don't care if my neighbors don't understand technology. I'm going to be a DJ.
right, exactly. And she does hold a regular DJ slot at Decabar Z in Shinjuku. But she's also actually guested at DJ places. Been a guest DJ? Yes, thank you. In Paris and New Zealand.
Wow.
So I think she must play, modern music. And she said that you get like essentially instant feedback for being a DJ, because if people don't like what you're playing, they'll get off the dance floor and go sit at the bar. So you're playing something well if everyone comes to the dance floor. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'd be too afraid because I've seen all those movies where like they boo the DJ.
Right. But this gives me hope because maybe, I've traveled a little bit in my life, but not as much as I would like. So this gives me hope. I could be DJing in my 80s in Paris or New Zealand.
Or there will be something new by then that you can be
sure,
the
or I will be,
a
Pokemon ninja.
World's oldest Pokemon ninja.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because,
Who doesn't even speak Japanese.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I would throw that back out since this is a Japanese woman. I thought I would, go back to my Japan plans.
I totally think of you because, clearly, I mean, especially Japan's known for having almost always the world's oldest person.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's like very rarely it's like, oh, that person actually died. And so the title goes to someone else. And then they die and it comes back to Japan. Like it's almost always
right.
in Japan. So clearly they're like, age is literally nothing but a number because we're doing whatever up till 120 something. Like we have no problem with anything with age. So it's like, oh yeah, DJ school at 77? Of course.
Sure.
Naturally.
Yeah, why not?
As well as, snowboarding half pipe at 69 and
yeah.
I mean, actually, I kind of hope not, because if you land hard on that...
no.
So maybe not the physical stuff, but clearly everything else is just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it all.
Yeah, my parents are in their 70s. I'm just trying to picture either of them as a DJ.
Well, I know some people must, because my grandmother will sometimes go dancing, and there's a DJ there that she's been friends with for years, so that DJ is clearly, up there. But evidently not the oldest or not the oldest professional.
Right.
Possibly older than, but not a professional.
Sure.
Because you have to, it can't just be something you do.
Because he wants to keep his amateur status, or she wants to keep his amateur status so they can go to the Olympics.
Of DJing. Yeah. The Olympics of DJing. Will those also be in Japan?
Of course.
As we're coming up to the next Olympics. Everything will be in Japan, and because it is their home turf and they clearly don't care about age, Japan will just sweep the DJ medals.
Yep.
We've now created our own.
We just created our own Olympics. I like it.
What else would even be at these Olympics? You have DJing.
Something Pokemon related.
Fortnite dancing. I still don't even fully understand what Fortnite is because I don't play video games. So I'm like, what is this a fighting game? Is this a
I've heard of it, but I have absolutely no idea what it is.
I know there are probably people out there screaming, what are you talking about? You don't know what Fortnite... I don't. I really don't.
A friend of mine just posted a picture of her, I think he's in 6th grade, her son very intently playing Fortnite. But that was just a picture of his face and his concentration face, not the game. So I have absolutely no idea.
A coworker asked me if I was a gamer, and I said, nope. And I've never even had a game system. I had once a Game Boy something that my mother took away for a year, and I didn't really notice. I did not play it at all. She took it away to punish me, and obviously that didn't have an effect because she found it about a year or so later when she was cleaning her closet or something. I was like, oh yeah, this. I was like, oh, that's right. I do have one of those. Huh.
My brother had an Atari when we were growing up, again, because I'm old. And then he had a Nintendo DS, maybe? I don't even know.
DS is new, isn't it?
No, I don't. Probably. I don't know. He had a Nintendo at some point. And I sometimes would play like Super Mario Brothers or something, but I was terrible at it. I much preferred Jeopardy and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego because I'm a giant dork.
Right. I do remember an after-school place that I went when I was not considered old enough to go home after school had a Nintendo 64 when that was the big thing. And it actually had a sort of sign up to play Mario Kart. Where it was obviously, winner stayed on the console. But then if you wanted to do whatever, you had to get back in line. And it usually always had a line of at least 8 people waiting to challenge the winner. And so it was just like... Okay, this I can understand because I'm just driving and trying not to crash. And then even if I crash, there's a little floaty person in the cloud who comes picks me up. So I'm pretty okay. But all the other, especially the ones that have a story and I have to go find this thing and then find... Right. I'm like, I am not going to sit here for 26 hours or whatever and play this.
And I am that person who moves my entire body when I'm trying to get Mario to jump over a gap or something. And my brother was always like, that doesn't help, right? Yes, it does.
It does. It helps me somehow mentally with science that I can't explain, but it does.
Yeah.
Exactly. So on that note, we're going to end for today. Thank you for listening to the GSMC Weird News Podcast.